Hello, this is Jam Master Daniel96, and in today's video, I'll be going over this thing I had in mind. After seeing The Rise of Skywalker 2 times in the theaters, I had this on my mind on since both my two viewings. And it is that I feel like how J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, I feel like they had different ideas in mind for Rey's backstory. And I'm gonna get into it. As we know in The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson made the reveal that Rey's parents were nobodies. And then in The Rise of Skywalker, J.J. Abrams reveals that Rey is the granddaughter of Palpatine. And then at the end of the movie, Rey takes the Skywalker name by choice. She calls herself Rey Skywalker. And I feel like, with The Force, ever since The Force Awakens, when J.J. Abrams was making the movie, I feel like I feel like he always wanted Rey to be connected to someone from the previous movies, and that's just the vibe I'm getting, and that's why I think why, JJ decided to make her a Palpatine. And there's an article. Rian Johnson has said, in an interview on why he decided to make her a nobody, and I'm gonna read this quote from him, and I'll link the full article down below, and it comes from VanityFair.com, and this article was published on January 17th, 2018. So this was about a month after The Last Jedi came out. And I'm just going to read this quote from Rian Johnson, and he said, "I went through all the possibilities of who her parents could be," Johnson said. "I made a list with the upsides and downsides." Then in parentheses, it says, "A list that was probably promptly destroyed by a hired Lucasfilm intern. He landed where he did because he was fond of breaking out from the notion that the Force is this genetic thing that you have to be tied to somebody to have. It's the anybody can be president idea, which I liked. Introducing the foremost thing, though, was just dramatically storytelling wise." And that's a quote from Rian Johnson. And that's why I feel like, why, Rian Johnson went with that idea to make her a nobody and not connected from anyone from the previous movies. And I feel like, as in The Force Awakens, it was sort of, one of the big questions, who are Rey's parents? And that's, what all the speculation began. Was Rey a Skywalker, Solo, Kenobi, Palpatine, or a nobody? And then Rian Johnson chose nobody, and then with The Rise of Skywalker, pretty much Abrams expands upon it. He goes with the Rey's parents are nobodies, but he adds an extra layer to make her the granddaughter of the Emperor. And I feel like, JJ from the start was always wanted her to be connected to someone from the previous movies, and that's why I think why Rey Skywalker, Rey Solo, Rey Kenobi, and Rey Palpatine were the front runner fan theories of Rey's identity, with her being connected to someone from the previous movies. I think JJ I feel like I have a feeling wouldn't have been surprised that he wanted her to be a Skywalker or a Solo or someone I thought he was going to make her part of the bloodline more. And that's why, since Rian Johnson's reveal in The Last Jedi, I feel like, he honored that reveal that she's a nobody. And as I said, how he added an extra layer with Palpatine, it's, since he brought back the Emperor in the movie, because I feel like, he had to go with The Last Jedi reveal to keep continuity, to make it so it didn't, contradict and all that. And then, so I feel like, Abrams made her a Palpatine, so I feel like, he didn't, so he had more of a story to, bring the Emperor back, and that's why I think he went with Rey Palpatine. in the movie. And then I feel like, as I said, I think when he was planning The Force Awakens, I think he had her as a Skywalker in mind, and that's why I think she takes the Skywalker name at the end of the movie, because I feel like pretty much, I think like Abrams pandered more to the Rey Palpatine camp, and then he pretty much threw a bone at the Rey Skywalker people, and then that's pretty much what I think um why I feel like, because kind of you do feel like, J.J. Abrams had his vision for The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, and Rian Johnson had his for The Last Jedi, and that's pretty much what I think, when they were planning Rey's identity for the movie. And I mean, that's pretty much all I gotta say in this video. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do you think it was planned all along that Rey's parents were nobodies, and that she was going to be the granddaughter of the Emperor all along? Or do you agree with me that I think Abrams originally planned her to be a Skywalker, then made her a Palpatine later on? Or do you think it was Rey nobody from the beginning, that she wasn't connected to anyone from the movies? I mean, tell me what you think down below, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and all that, and may the Force be with you.